Why do so many people feel fine but not fulfilled? This week's topic is often encountered with a degree of shame and guilt by high-functioning individuals. And the reason for that is that they look outside and they assess their life by what's visible, either by themselves or others. And they can say with great confidence that their life is, on paper, great. And so the reason they experience guilt and shame is guilt about not feeling good about themselves, despite this wonderful life on paper. And shame because eventually they conclude there must be something wrong with me for feeling this way, despite my life being effectively good. The primary issue is that very often this statement, "I'm fine," is an operational statement rather than an actual state of feeling. And it's a description of the fact that there's no crisis. So fine means the absence of crisis rather than a holistic assessment of how the high-functioning individual is feeling, and therefore fine equals thriving. What is the mechanism by which this happens? If you recall from previous weeks, we discussed that the high-functioning individual very often is operating with a great deal of strain and internal stress in order to cope and maintain the level of standard that they operate by, which would naturally cause distress signals to be emerging from within. But in order to continue pressing on, the high-functioning individual has to collapse these internal distress signals. Now, the problem with that is that psychologically, as a rule, if you may, the container within which the distress signals reside is the same exact container where joy, happiness, excitement reside. And therefore, in order to not feel the distress signals, the container has to be shut, and with it, also the positive emotions have to get shut. And hence the net result being this numb, somewhat unfulfilled, empty feeling of life, despite life on paper being great. And therefore, the end result is feeling fine on the outside, but actually not so much on the inside. And so my reflection for you this week is the following. If you were to stop assessing your life by what you get done, and instead you assessed it by how you are feeling, what would replace the word fine? Until next week.